Welcome, ladies, degenerates, and gentlemen. We are back. It is currently Wednesday, August 21st. Little summer hiatus, but we're back for football season. We got week 0, 1 day away. Technically, we got a game tomorrow night,
Mm-hmm.
and we are one preseason week away from NFL season. So, me and my co host, Big Rich, are back.
How we doing tonight, everybody? It's like Fuski said, it's Wednesday, August 21st, week 0 kicking off this week. NFL preseason finale this weekend. Then regular season kicks off. Got some fantasy drafts in the upcoming weeks. It's in the air, and I'm feeling it. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it going, dude. It's
This
football
is the
season.
week. We're
We
back.
are we are back. We
All right.
are back.
So, although we do have a college football game tomorrow night, we're going to
Yep.
lead it off with the NFL. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to do 2 divisions today, and then hopefully figure out a way to do the other, 6?
Yeah, we can crank out the rest of the NFL next week or even the week after that because there's a week in between finale and preseason finale and week 1. So
Right.
sometime in there, probably touch on a little bit more college next week, and then NFL, and then we'll mix in some college obviously too that week because that'll be week 1 of college. But
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah, so today we're going to do AFC West and NFC West. We're going to go through divisions in order of least likely to win division and most likely, and we'll talk about a little bit more odds, some other
mm-hmm.
off-season changes, and what we think is going to happen. So we're going to start it off with the AFC West, and the least likely to win that division is the Denver Broncos. 2023 record of 8-9, went on a little 5-game win streak late. The end of the Russell Wilson experiment we witnessed last year. So they're
What an
18-1 to win the division. Win total at 5.5 for this season. Russ obviously now in Pittsburgh, which we'll get to, but
mm-hmm.
we'll start off with every team will start off with some notable additions and some offseason moves. Beginning for the Broncos with Bo Nix. Impressed in preseason so far. They named him the starter, I think today actually.
Yeah, I got that notification today.
Officially the
He
new starting quarterback in Denver is Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean their whole QB room is brand new. Oh,
Yep.
besides Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham
Oh,
was their backup, one of the backups last year. No, or was he with the
uh,
Raiders?
I think he was with the Raiders for at least most of the season. So yeah, they have
Okay.
Bo Nix, who they named the starter, Jarrett Stidham, and now Zach Wilson as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a competition.
Yep.
They decided on
Com-
Bo Nix, which
competition.
yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect Bo Nix to come out that hot. He looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Some other notable additions. They took Audric Estime out of Notre Dame in the draft, and the defense is pretty much the same. I mean, there's obviously draft picks that we're gonna notice later on as they get their playing time and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much the notable changes. Like I said, we're resetting after Russ, and Sean Payton is now gonna build his own offense. So
Yep. Year 2 of Sean Payton. So I expect this team to take us. I mean, they're 8-9 last year. You said 5-game win streak to end the season late last year. So I think that 5-game win streak is going to kind of transition into this season. I think they're going to be a pretty solid team. I wouldn't be shocked if. I don't think anyone will challenge the Chiefs in the division ultimately, but I mean, one of those sleeper teams. Like we've had a sleeper team in the AFC each of the last 3 seasons, right? We had the Bengals a few years ago. The year after that, we had the Jaguars winning the AFC South, and then last year we had the Texans coming out of the AFC South. So I like I don't think the Broncos will be that team, but I mean, you never know. They could step up, and they have a tough division, obviously, with the Chiefs winning the division for the last 6, 7 years now, 8 years. So
yeah,
they got a tough test, tough division, but I like this Broncos team. I like the draft pick of Bo Nix. He's one of those guys that I think is just so obsessed with the game of football that it's tough for him to fail. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys. He has played college football for what 6 years now. He just
5 or 6, yeah.
loves the game too much.
20,
And
he's 25 years old as a
yeah,
rookie.
he's gonna put every ounce of everything that he has into this team. So I like the draft pick.
Yeah.
I think his ceiling is not as high as some of the other guys, but I think his floor is lower than the other guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like the pairing with him and Peyton,
Oh, for
and
sure.
he's looked good so far. But I mean, really, they did as much as they could. They with the Rush trade, they didn't have many draft picks.
Oh
So
yeah, zero.
after getting rid of him, they knew they had to go get somebody, and then they took a chance on getting Zach Wilson to maybe become something if Bo Nix doesn't pan out. But I
Yeah,
don't see that happening.
yeah.
Um, One other highlight, I think, before we move on to kind of our predictions, I don't see them. I think they finish bottom of the division, to be honest.
Yep.
But like them and the Raiders, I don't think it's close between the other two teams, the Chargers and the Chiefs. I think those two are going to run away with it, and it's just
Hmm.
going to be a battle for the bottom at that point.
Yep.
Um, a win total of 5.5 is extremely low, but I do think on top of Bo Nix and kind of rebuilding the offense away from Russ, I think Javante Williams is going to come back and have a big year.
Hmm.
They had shit, what's his name? The electric guy that came in like mid-season in the backfield because Javante was
Oh, was that
Jaleel McLaughlin.
yeah, Jaleel McLaughlin. Yeah, yeah.
So they got a couple weapons in the backfield. They got rid of Jerry Judy.
Hmm.
Um, I honestly couldn't even tell you who they have at wide receiver. But
They
still,
got
I think
Sutton, Tim Tim
Tim Patrick,
Patrick.
who hasn't played in
He
3 years.
I was about to say he's had quite a few injury-ridden seasons. I feel bad for the dude, but I am pulling for him after all those horrible injuries. That sucks, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the defense has always been solid. Obviously, they have Pat Surtain and
Yeah.
they do their job, but I think the offense is going to be better. 5.5 win total is really low, but I'm not going to
Hmm.
go out on a limb and bet on that. They play the AFC North, this division does this year. So
Yep.
Steelers, Browns, Ravens, and Bengals. That's a tough schedule on top of the tough division that they're already in.
Hmm.
So I don't see much. And I think 8 and 9 was actually impressive for how bad Russ was and how dysfunctional that place was. So
Hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them finish in about the same spot, if not worse, personally.
You say same spot, if not worse. You meaning that 8 and 9 range?
8 and 9, yeah.
Yeah. So you like their over 5.5 wins. You lean their
Yeah,
over
but
the
I'm
win
I'm not
total.
gonna. I could also see them being just complete garbage. It's not a
Yeah.
confident bet, but if I had to lean one way or the other on a win total, I would lean the
Hmm.
over. 5.5 is pretty low, but
Yeah. Hmm. I mean, so they open up at the Seahawks. I mean, the 12th man. That's a tough place to open up a season. They probably lose that one. Um, they host the Steelers.
which who knows what they're gonna be this year.
Exactly. I feel like the Steelers
That's
are an
that's actually
absolute wild card.
put a note in Jerry Judy revenge game.
Steel, Jewy's
Oh
on
no, he's on
the
the Browns.
Browns.
My bad,
On
my
the
bad, my
Browns.
bad.
They
Well, they
do
do play
play.
the Browns.
They do play the Browns
Yeah,
December 2nd,
yeah.
late in the season. So that Steelers Broncos game that could go either way. At Tampa Bay, so they open up 2 out of 3 on the road. And then they play Chargers twice, Chiefs twice.
Right. And
So I mean,
I even think
and at the
Broncos
Ravens
Raiders is
and
gonna be
at
a
the
good
Bengals.
matchup too.
I don't know, man. This could be 5.5. I think
Well, let's go
this.
through it. Seahawks, no. Steelers, we'll give it to them. So there's
Okay,
one.
that's one. Yep.
Bucks in Tampa, it's a
Let's get
50-50.
let's give it to the Bucks. So let's say
So
one win.
okay, so one. host the Raiders. We'll give them 1-1 against the Raiders. Win at
Okay.
home, lose on the road.
Yeah.
Host the Chargers. No.
You skipped the Jets.
Oh, I did skip the Jets
So
in New
no.
York. Yeah, so it's a no. That's why I skipped them. Okay, so and then they host the Raiders, which is I'll give them 1 at home against the Raiders,
Yeah, so that's
and
2.
yeah, 2 wins. Home against the Chargers. No.
I'm gonna give them. one of the 4 games that they play Chargers Chiefs.
Is that the one?
So that's the one, home against the
Okay.
Chargers. I'll
So
give them.
3. Uh, in New Orleans on a Thursday night. Sure. We'll give them that one
Okay.
too.
Okay.
Host the Panthers, that's 5. At the Ravens, no. At the Chiefs, no. Host the Falcons. I'm gonna
No.
say no. I'm pretty high on the Falcons this year, I think.
Yeah, me too.
We already gave them the Raiders, so in Las
No.
Vegas, no. At home against the Browns, no. At home against the Colts, no, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, let's give it to them. That's 6.
That'll give you your 6, but then they go to LA against the Chargers, no. At the Bengals, no. And then host the Chiefs. That's gonna be if the Chiefs are already in the 1 seed or
Yeah,
can't move up, they might rest
yeah,
everybody. You might get
yeah,
7 there
and
on a
yeah,
win.
and we gave them at the Saints too, which is not on a Thursday night. It's
It's not a given, right?
not a given. So I mean,
So that's why I say I think they can get there, but I'm not willing to put any money on it personally.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's I'm not. That's a, yeah. I'm not too sure about that one. It's just one of those teams that could be solid. I mean, it's a Sean Payton coach team. He got his guy in Bo Nix. 5-game win streak to end the season. Do they carry that over? We'll see. But yeah, don't feel confident enough to bet that over.
Definitely not. So now we move to the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Same record, 8-9 last year. After the Josh McDaniels debacle, they bring in Antonio Pierce, which I really like that hire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they kept him.
Absolutely.
They added Gardner Minshew, who is now the starter, with Aiden O'Connell as the backup. Drafted Brock Bowers, brought in Alexander Madison after losing Josh Jacobs to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in Christian Wilkins from Miami, which is going to help their defense tremendously.
Mm-hmm. I'll pair it up with Crosby.
Yep, that's going to be a good front 7. Their defensive backfield, not really too much to write home about.
Yep.
The whole Devontae to the Jets trade thing is gonna always kind of be in the back of your mind, but that's gonna depend on how the season goes, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's impossible, but I don't think it's something that they're looking to do to start the season. I think they want to try to win games. If that doesn't
Oh,
happen,
for sure.
maybe they talk
Yeah,
something.
and like, you look at their schedule early at the Chargers, at the Ravens. So like it could be 0-2. All right,
Yeah.
see you, Devontae.
So before we go straight through the schedule, they are 9-1 to win the division,
Mm-hmm.
which nobody thinks they're going to do anyways. And a 6.5 win total instead of 5.5 like the Broncos. So now we can run through schedule. I don't know. Josh Jacobs was like the only bright spot. They got Jimmy G's on the Rams.
Yep.
I like Gardner Minshew,
I do.
but he is the type of guy that's like he's a backup. He comes in and saves the day, and he's like, "Yeah, I can play," but I don't see
Yeah.
him being a good starter. He's gonna have a lot of stinker weeks, maybe a decent amount of good weeks too, but it's not a consistent option. So, like you said, at Chargers, at Ravens, that's probably 0-2.
Yep.
Then they host the Panthers. There's one.
Okay, we'll give them that.
They host the Browns. I'm gonna say no.
I don't see it.
At the Broncos, we gave that to the Broncos.
Yep. So that's a 1-4 start.
Yep. Host the Steelers. I really have no idea what the Steelers are going to be.
Yeah, dude. I have no clue what the Steelers are going to be. I mean, it's a Mike Tomlin coach team. Their defense is going to be stout.
Well, that's the only reason
T.J.
I think they
Watt,
have a
Minka
chance.
Fitzpatrick. Like they're going to be a good team
The only reason I think
defensively.
they have a chance to win games is because of Mike Tomlin.
Correct. I don't think Russell Wilson is going to push them over the edge. I don't think Justin Fields. I mean, my standpoint on Justin Fields over the years.
Oh yeah,
I
I
don't
do.
think I don't think he is going to push them over the edge. But it's a Mike Tomlin coach team. They're going to win some games, but I don't think the Steelers are going to be anything to write home about at the end of
So
the
we're
year.
at 1. Do you think they beat the Steelers at home in Week
Let,
5?
let's give them 2. Let's give them a
Yes,
dub.
2. Then they go to the Rams.
I don't think so.
That's a no for me. Host the Chiefs, no. At the Bengals, no. At the Dolphins,
No,
no. Host the
we
Broncos,
we gave them that one.
yeah.
Their home win. Yeah.
At the Chiefs, no. Although they did beat them once last year around Christmas.
Yeah. So let's give them a 1 win against the Chiefs. So let's go back to the earlier game
Before.
against them. Let's give them that.
All right,
So
so
that
you're at
puts them
4.
at 1, 2, 3,
That's 4.
4. Are you sure it's 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steelers, Panthers,
Chiefs.
and 1 against the Chiefs. What was the other one?
That was the 3. That's 3.
So we're only at 3. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Then we're at the box here.
at the Bucks with 3 wins.
No, I don't know.
Host the Falcons.
Okay, we got to give them one of
Maybe.
these. Got to give them one of these.
I think they can beat the Jags, which is the next week.
Yeah. So let's give them
So
4 there.
give
Let's
them
give them
4
4
at
there.
the Saints, maybe.
Yeah.
1 between the Falcons and the Saints is 5.
Yeah.
And
So yeah,
then you're at home against the Chargers the last week, and their win total is 6.5.
we're looking at a 5-6 win team.
Yep. So if I'm betting anything there, it's the under.
Yep. 6.5. I lean under. Definitely lean under. Not gonna bet it, but
And the messed up part about all this too is there's always that team like the Rams last year. They're supposed to suck,
yeah.
and they won
And
10 games.
ended
So
up
you
being a
never
pretty
know what could
solid team.
happen. But
Yeah.
on the outside looking in, before we start anything, it doesn't look too good.
Yeah. I mean, last year I bet the Texans under wins, and I bet them under 4.5.
Oof.
They go out there and they win 10 games.
Yeah, that's
It's like
tough.
you never know at the end of the
Right.
day. You never
Right.
know.
That's just how it is. That's the NFL, baby.
It's the NFL. But back to my point earlier, there's going to be a team or two that exceeds expectations tremendously.
Oh, 100%.
It's Texans last year, like I just touched upon. Jaguars year before that, which let's not forget, I bet the Jaguars to win the division that year plus 750. I was all over that, and then the year before
Let's
that,
get one of those in. Let's get one of those in the show this year then.
I know I'm looking
Huh?
hard. I don't think it's in this division, but I'm looking.
Yeah, probably not. We all know who's going to win this division.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's move to the Chargers. Our arch nemesis, Brandon Staley, is gone finally. And who better but to take his place than Mr. Jim Harbaugh?
Jimmy boy.
The complete opposite of what we hated in Staley is now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how can you fucking dislike the guy? Unless you don't like Michigan.
Yeah, no, he brings a different type of energy from
Yep.
from that side of things.
He's a culture changer, which they
Dude,
needed.
imagine like being an NFL talent and like waking up one day and your head coach is Brandon Staley. It's like I worked this hard my entire life to be coached by this absolute buffoon, this nerd. You shitting me? All right. No more.
He's gone.
We've
Can't talk
touched
shit on him
enough on
anymore.
Brandon Staley. I hate that man. It's not even my team to root for, but he sucked and he blowed.
I agree. So, Jim Harbaugh, I have him at the top of the list for notable additions.
For sure, for sure.
Chargers went 5-12 last year. Let's mention that. They added J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. Got rid of Eckler, who's now in Washington.
Hmm.
Gus Edwards is a Jim Harbaugh guy, ground and pound. He loves to run the football. J.K. Dobbins is made of paper. He's a great player, but he hasn't
Yeah.
stayed healthy each and every year he's been in the league. So
Hmm.
he's almost not worth mentioning at this point unless he actually stays healthy. Then I think he can make a difference.
Yeah.
They also added DJ Chark, drafted Lad McConkey, who I put in Offensive Rookie of the Year ticket on.
I love that.
I believe it was, before I get sidetracked, let's see what it was. 35-1. So I like
Damn.
that. I think he's gonna have a good year.
Hmm.
Might not win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but it's worth the price. They also drafted Brendan Rice, son of Jerry Rice. They added Will Disley and Hayden Hurst at tight end, so another staple to the running game. You got those two big tight ends,
Hmm.
and they drafted Joe Alt, the best offensive lineman in the draft. So
Hmm.
they bolstered the offense. Herbert, we all know what Herbert can do. He's talented as can be. It's going to be a different identity. They're not going to be fourth down slingers like they were,
Nope.
and they're probably not going to get behind the chains either because they're going to run the hell out of the football. So I like the way the offense is looking.
Hmm.
Um, you still have your three stars on defense: Bosa, Mack, and Derwin James. And yeah, I mean same thing. The mindset with Harbaugh, they're gonna take on a hard nosed mindset. Those three guys will gather the guys around them, make them better, and at plus 320 to win the division. If you think they can do a 1 year 180, might be worth the ticket. But I definitely like the 8.5 win total. I think I'll probably be placing a wager on that. I think they're going to be a much better. 5-12 is not where this team should be with all the talent they have.
No, and I think dropping Staley, bringing in Harbaugh, changing the identity, which you touched upon, is definitely worth a boost in at least 4 wins. So I do lean the over on 8.5 there. I think they're going to be a good team. The last few years we just spent each year like, is this the year the Chargers are going to make that jump? When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Herbert has all the talent in the world. They had Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler.
Who are both gone now, actually. All three of them are gone.
Where all three of them are gone, but it's like, when are they going to make that jump? Now that they all three of those are gone, they're bringing in some new players, some new identity. I like it. I don't want to fall into this trap, but it's different. It's different. It's not the same old Chargers. It's a different team, top down, top to bottom. So I don't want to fall into that trap, like I said. But and I think, like I said, I think if they're a different team, 8.5, I think is a little bit low. I think we're looking at a 9-10 win team.
I agree. Yeah, and the one weakness I will give you is with losing Keenan Allen, Mike Williams.
Mhm.
Josh Palmer is the number one wide receiver, who I don't dislike, but I don't like him as a number one. You know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. But they're not gonna be throwing the ball 40 times a game.
Yeah,
You
they're gonna
know,
be running the
they
ball.
they
I agree,
yeah, they're gonna run the ball. They got
but you'd still
like
like to
Gus
have
Edwards,
those weapons.
Dobbins. Yeah. Oh, of course, of course.
All right, so let's run through this schedule. 8.5 win total at home against the Raiders. We'll give them that. Away against the Panthers, that's 2. At the Steelers, I think
Let's
so.
say let's say 2-1.
Okay, fair
Let's
enough.
give let's give the Steelers a home dub.
Host the Chiefs in week 4.
Give them that.
Okay. At the Broncos, yeah.
Did we? Yeah. No. We gave the Broncos that one. I think
We gave them one, so we'll
we gave
just
them one against the
not give you the other
Chargers.
one.
So yeah.
At the Cardinals, Monday night.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? You like the? I mean, I like the Cards this year too, but
Yeah, I do like the Cards. Let's say no. Let's
I think that whatever the total is in that game, I'm betting the over.
Yep. I don't know though. We'll see. We'll see how this new Chargers offense runs.
At home against the Saints, yes.
Yep. So that is 3. No, 4.
That's 5.
Chargers, Panthers.
Raiders, Broncos.
Oh, yeah, no. Raiders, Panthers. Did we give them that Broncos one?
Well, we're giving them 1 out of the 2.
Okay, so let's give them 3. I thought we are giving the home one to the Broncos there, but the other one we'll take away. So that's 4.
4.
Yep. So Chargers, Browns at the Browns. No, I don't think so.
Oh, wait, we gave them Saints too, right?
Yes, we give them
1,
Saints.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. At the Browns.
Nope. Do you agree there?
Oh, I can see it. Home against the Titans, yes.
Yes, 5.
Home against the Bengals.
I say yes.
Yeah.
Where do you lean? Yes?
Yeah, because yeah,
Okay, that's 6.
I think they can roll, and then they host the Ravens at home the next week on a Monday.
Let's say no there.
3 in a row at home. I think they take the first 2. Don't take the Ravens. At the Falcons.
They got a tough stretch here.
Yeah, it is.
They go.
I'll give them the Falcons though. I'd like to give them the Falcons.
Okay. They go Bengals, Ravens, Falcons, Chiefs. That's a tough 4 game.
Bounce back after the Ravens against the Falcons. Lose against the Chiefs in Kansas City the next week.
Yeah, at Arrowhead. Yep.
Bounce back against the Bucs at home is 8.
Yep.
Host the Broncos. We gave them 1, so
give them an L.
Either or to take 1-1 against the Broncos. Beat the Pats.
I don't know, man. Pats are going to be really good.
You're out of your mind. Could be Brandon Staley coach, and we'd still lose. That's 9, and then
stop it.
Then they go to the Raiders, week 18.
Yeah.
So it's either 9 or 10 if you're giving them the Raiders at.
Yeah, we'll give them the Raiders at the end.
So that's 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said earlier, a little 9-10 win season.
They do have that tough stretch, but they have 3 home games in a row.
Yeah.
And then they play the Falcons on the road and then the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I like the over. That's something I think I will be betting on.
I like
we're
it.
Gonna see.
I like it. Maybe we could.
I think long run Jim Harbaugh is going to get this team in contention. Will it happen in 1 year? That's what we're wagering on basically here.
Do you want a squad ride? Chargers over win total 8.5.
I'm in.
All right, let's do it. That's a podcast play right there.
Let's do it right now.
Chargers 8.5. I'm gonna throw it in my notes, and then it's one of those plays I'll put in at some point.
We'll do it at the break after NFL.
Correct.
Okay, so now we move to the Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champions, 11-6 last year, minus 230 to win the division, so nobody's touching that. 11.5 win total, tied for the Niners for the highest win total in Vegas. They added Hollywood Brown, who did get injured in a preseason game, which sucks, but he'll be back week 2 or 3-ish. Drafted Xavier Worthy, another deep threat, which is exactly what Mahomes needs. They have a surprising backup running back, Deneric Prince, that's impressed in camp behind a solid Isaiah Pacheco. Defensively, not many changes. They're kind of a scrappy defense that makes do with what they have. They have Chris Jones and George Karlaftis.
They lost Snead. That's a big loss.
Yeah. But they usually make do. That's kind of how their defense has always been. And when you have Patrick Mahomes, you can do that.
Correct.
The schedule is tough. I have it written down before we even look at it. They host Baltimore, host Cincy, go to Atlanta, go to LA, skip a week, go to the Niners, and then they skip 2 weeks and go to the Bills. So as good as they are and as fine as they will probably be, they didn't start off hot last year.
Yes.
So we could 11.5 win totals high, and we could make a case for an under.
Mhm. Oh, for sure.
But like I said, it's Patrick Mahomes. So
I know. Remember when we were saying that about our team and but it's Tom Brady.
all good things come to an end, my friend.
Those are the good old days for this.
Yeah, well, I was upset about it for a while, but I've learned to appreciate what we have now. And as much as I
Yeah,
hate that it's somebody else, Mahomes is he's really that guy.
yeah, he is. It's tough to admit it, being a diehard Pats Brady fan, but Mahomes is indeed the dude, the face of the NFL, and he's doing his thing. 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 wins in his first 6 full seasons as a starter. You
Pretty
can't
good.
deny facts at this point. So
It's pretty fucking good.
um, yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty. I mean, he's no Tom Brady, but
Not yet.
oh, don't even say it.
I'm just, hey, if I get let down, that's a good thing. But I'm
Okay, fair
preparing.
enough. If you're wrong, good thing.
That's exactly right. So
But
let's run through it here. There's really
yeah,
not much you have to say about the Chiefs. We know what they are. We know what they can be. I mean, realistically, we probably expect them to be back in the Super Bowl. So
yeah. Real quick, I think this season, barring any injuries, I think this is going to be Travis Kelce's best season.
really,
Yep.
hmm.
I don't know why. I think he has one more
Go with the
balls to
bang.
the balls to the wall season. I think he hangs around for a few more seasons, but I think this year he's going to go ballistic. Now it's like, oh, he had an off year. He's a little banged up. Well, I don't think he's the same type of player, but I mean, Travis Kelce has been that guy for 10 years now. He's gonna step up. He's the heart and soul. I mean, Mahomes is, but that receiving core. And now we have Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy, a second year Rashee Rice. Teams have to game plan for those guys. I think Kelsey is gonna average 6, 7 catches a game, 85 plus yards a game. I think he finds the end zone 10 plus times this season.
Mahomes might throw fucking 55 touchdowns this year.
He might, dude. He might,
If everybody
but
gets healthy and stays healthy, that offense is lethal.
so lethal.
All right, but anyways, enough glazing.
Correct.
Let's run through their schedule. So they
Correct.
start off Thursday night. They host the Ravens. That's the opening game on the 5th of September.
Yep.
Um, they
Let's
lost to the Lions last year.
They did.
The Ravens are obviously really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be a toss up personally.
Yeah.
So I say we start off 0-1 again like last year.
Okay. Fair enough. A
They're
little, a
probably
little
gonna
Super Bowl hangover letdown.
they're probably gonna raise the banner. Lamar wants his. Lamar wants his. He's still fighting to be in the conversation of a top 5 QB because everyone hates on him so much.
Correct.
I think the Ravens can squeak out a win on a first game Thursday night with all the drama pregame. So we'll give it to the Ravens. I think they bounce back and beat the Bengals at home week 2.
Okay. I'm with
They
that.
go they go to Atlanta. I think that's probably a win because the Falcons are probably going to take a few weeks to figure it out with everything that's new.
Mm-hmm. So
Then they
two and
go to the
one.
Chargers.
2-2.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we gave the Chargers that win.
We got to give the Chargers. I think they go 1-1 against the Chargers. Then they host the Saints. That's a win.
Mm-hmm. So 3-2.
That's the off week. Then they go to San Fran for Super Bowl rematch.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to give that to the Niners.
I'm with it.
So
3-3.
3-2, or what? 3-3.
3-3. Lost to the Niners. Lost to the Chargers. Lost to the Ravens. 3-3.
Yeah, and then they hit their stride.
Then they hit their run. Yep, they're gonna beat the Chiefs. They're gonna beat the Raiders.
Beat the Raiders, beat the Bucks, beat the Broncos, Bills in Buffalo.
6-3. Give them a loss.
Bills in Buffalo will give them a loss. Beat the Panthers.
So that's 7.
Raiders again.
I think we gave the Raiders that one. No,
We gave them 1 out of the 4 against the Chargers and Chiefs.
Chargers and Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So yes or no against the Raiders.
We gave
that's the
them
Black Friday game.
Oh, spooky.
Yeah.
It might be a letdown, but we'll give it to them.
So
That's 8.
Host the Chargers.
9.
Away at the Browns.
Let's give them an L there.
Okay. Beat the Texans at home. 10.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. 11. And then again, it depends on where they're at with 11 wins going into Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if they play that game, they win.
Yes, I think. I mean, if they're sitting at 11 wins going into Week 18, I don't think they're going to be sitting. I think they're going to be battling for that 1 seed. So I
would agree,
but
I think the AFC is so competitive that I think with 11 wins, you could be a head-to-head matchup away from a 1 seed. With how many good teams there are in the AFC and how many times they probably knock each other down.
Yeah.
I mean, who in the AFC is going to have a 13-win season beside the Chiefs? Maybe the Ravens, maybe I wouldn't even say the Bills now because.
Yeah. I mean, the Jets.
Yeah,
I mean, the Jets are the Jets. Like I think they're going to be good. I don't think they're going to be a 1 seed in the AFC.
Right, you know what I mean though. Like at 11 and what 5?
Yeah, at 11-5 going into Week 18, they'll be a top 3 team in the conference. Whether that is sitting at number 1 or tied for number 1, they'll be in that conversation with 11 wins going into Week 18.
Yeah. So, but 11 wins doesn't get you the win total. So
no, it doesn't.
It's not worth betting, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially with the difficulty of schedule, because
Mm-hmm.
they're going to drop a game to the Raiders or the Broncos. So that's 4 games. They'll go 1-3 against those teams. They'll go 1-1 against the Chargers, 4-2 in the division, and then they play the Bills, Niners, Bengals, Ravens. So I mean, there's a tough schedule in there, they travel to the Browns. So I mean, betting the over, I don't think it's a great bet.
No.
Do I think? Would I be shocked if they get 12 wins? Absolutely, fucking
of course not.
But I will not be putting my money on that.
All right. Well, that does it for AFC West. We did find a squad ride in over 8.5 wins for the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Now let's go to NFC North. NFC West, who plays the NFC North in their schedule this season. And again, we will start with lowest odds to win the division, which is the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, Arizona Cardinals, 13-1 to win in the division, 6.5 win total. They went 4-13 last year. They went 4-13 the year before. They have 8 wins in their past 2 seasons. Not very good.
No, definitely not great.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Kyler was out for what? 12 games last year, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Came back
the
like
first
three quarters of the way through or whatever.
first half plus.
Yeah, he was healthy enough, but they knew they weren't
Mhm.
going to do anything. So
Yeah, he's getting some reps ready for this year.
the one advantage that being so shitty gives you is a top 4 pick, which they used on Marvin Harrison Jr. Stud, great draft pick. I wish he was on the Patriots. They also
Yeah,
added
me too.
Zay Jones, drafted Trey Benson out of FSU. They gave a partner in Buda Baker with Sean Murphy Bunting, who is a solid vet in the defensive backfield.
Hmm.
They drafted Darius Robinson, who I believe is a defensive end, and Kyler is healthy.
Yeah, and I
So
mean, outside of
trending in the
yeah,
right
trending.
direction.
Yeah, and outside of Marvin Harrison, they've accumulated, I mean, 3 or 4 first round draft picks in the last 3 or 4 top 10 picks in the last couple of years. So um, got a couple guys who are looking to make their stride this year as well on that roster. So I mean, definitely a sleeper team. I think it might be a year early. Maybe next year we'll be looking at a Cardinals future to win the division, but um, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at their schedule now too.
Yeah, we'll get there. I got a couple more notes. With Kyler healthy, Marvin Harrison, and a guy who I think could, fantasy wise, possibly be a number one tight end in Trey McBride.
Mm-hmm.
A great weapon. They did add a couple pieces to the offensive line. It's still not great, but the offense the offense is gonna be able to score points.
Oh, big time.
Kyler is electric. I am a little bit biased because he is my one and only dynasty QB that means anything to me.
I'm sorry, Fuski.
Yeah, well, we've discussed this. We don't have to go over it again. But we all love watching Kyler when he's at his best. He's
Hmm.
electric to watch,
Yep.
and I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is. I mean, he's a pro already. He was a pro at Ohio State, so it's a
Yep.
great pick. The offense is going to be good. The defense probably not so much. Like I said, they have Buda Baker. They added Sean Murphy Bunting, who was solid in Tampa Bay for their Super Bowl run, and a couple years after. Um, it's going to be tough to against good offenses. It's going to be tough for them to hold them below 20 points. I think there's
Yep.
not many bright spots on the defensive side of the ball.
Yep. No, I agree wholeheartedly there. I mean, their offense will. I think just on paper here, they'll be able to score with the best of them, but it's all about holding those top tier teams. Um, at the end of the day, to less points than you score. So um, that's where they'll struggle. But I do like this team. I
I do
definitely
too.
I have my eyes open on these guys.
I mean, it wasn't long ago where they were what they went undefeated for like 8 games a few years ago,
Yeah, man, they were
right?
really good. That was Kyler's second season.
Yeah,
Him and D Hop were doing something special out there.
they're not far removed from that. I know things have been bad, but I mean, you have a whole season without your franchise quarterback. That's not going to help anything. And the year before, you struggled.
Yeah.
So let's run through the schedule. It's a 6.5 win total on DraftKings.
Yep.
I am leaning towards it, but I haven't run fully through the schedule yet.
Yeah. It's tough.
Oh
It
well, here we
is.
go.
It is very tough.
And we start off in Buffalo against the Bills. So no.
Loss.
Home against the Rams. Division game. Are we going to give them one with the Rams?
We'll give them the Rams at home.
We'll give them one with the Rams. Home against the Lions. No.
No.
Home against the Commanders.
Yeah, we'll give them that.
Okay. Two. At the 49ers. No. At the Packers. No.
No. 2-4.
Home against the Chargers. Hmm. We gave it to the Chargers. I don't think so.
Yeah, 2-5.
At the Dolphins.
No.
No. Hosting the Bears.
Yes.
I can see that. Shootout.
3-6.
Hosting the Jets.
No.
No. Uh,
3-7.
at the Seahawks.
I'm down on the Seahawks, but I'll let's give
They
them a split with the Seahawks.
they have one, so we'll give them one whether it's at home or away.
Yeah.
4. At the
Mhm.
Vikings, I think they can win that game.
Yeah. 5.
Host the at home against the Seahawks. We already split that.
Yeah.
Then they host the Pats.
Win. 6.
Yeah, I agree. Because at that point, the Patriots are either
Tanking.
underwhelming or overwhelming, if that's even a fucking word. But there's 4 weeks left, so they'll probably be tanking.
Yep.
So 6. At the Panthers, 7. At the Rams, we already gave them one against the Rams.
Yep.
And then at home against the Niners, which will come down to rest. So we're at 7 pending the last week.
Yep. 6.5 win total. We lean the over there, it looks like, but
We got to 7. I don't know if I'm going to put it in yet, but I want
we,
to.
like I said, we got to 7, but I think we were a touch generous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think that Bears game they could easily lose.
I'll say this. I'm not betting the under.
No, absolutely not. Not betting the over either. But,
Yeah, see, I want that to be my sleeper team. But it's
I
really only
know.
because I have Kyler. If I'm being honest, that's the major reason. But I do think they'll be a lot better this year. They're not going to win 4. They're going to win more than 4 games like they have the past 2
Yep.
seasons.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think their offense is going to be way too dynamic.
Yeah.
Way too dynamic.
I really am excited to watch Kyler. Bias or not, he's going to be fucking.
Yeah. He's going to
He's just so fun to watch.
yeah, and I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong this year. A lot of people have already counted him out, so.
All right, so next team will be the Seahawks, 9-8 last season with Geno. Scratched and clawed all season long. They're 7-1 to win the division with a 7.5 win total.
Mm-hmm.
They added Sam Howell, Leonard Williams on the defensive line. They drafted Byron Murphy, who I believe is a D end. Let me double check.
D tackle.
He's from Texas, right? Yeah, he's from
Texas. D tackle.
That's why I knew he was good, because you're a Texas fan.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of it. Off-season wise, the draft wasn't that impressive. They still have Geno. They still have DK. They still have Tyler Lockett. They still have Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. They still have the young D-backs in I'm blanking.
Oh, they have
Tariq Woolen.
That dude from Illinois they drafted last year. I can't think of his name either. It's going to drive me crazy right now. Something Spoon?
Yeah, Witherspoon.
Witherspoon. Yeah. Yeah. No, that guy's nasty. So, yeah, defensively they should be pretty stout.
Yeah, they always are.
I think offensively they're gonna. I think they're just gonna be mid.
Yeah.
I think Geno hit his ceiling 2 years ago. Last year he was all right. I think Sam Howell ends up being their quarterback by the end of the year.
I wrote that down in my notes. I hated the way they got rid of Pete Carroll. Not got rid of, but parted ways with, I guess.
How it happened.
I literally have it I said I don't expect Geno to be bad or good necessarily, but if it starts to tank offensively, don't be surprised if Sam Howell comes in to light it up for a game or two.
Yeah.
It's exactly word for word what I wrote, so I agree.
Hmm.
Either way, I'm not confident in this team to be more than what they show on paper.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I think Vegas was like, yeah, they're pretty freaking mid. Let's just
They're mid.
let's put their win total at 7.5. That's probably where they're going to end up.
You're either going to win 10 or they're either going to win 7 on the number.
Yeah, I think DK has a good year this year though. We're kind of waiting for him to hop into that top 5, top 10 conversation for wideouts, and I think Geno's just going to be throwing him the ball like absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have JSN too, who I think is going to be better in his second year. He came on strong at the end of the year
Yeah,
last year.
for sure.
All right, well, let's quickly do the schedule because we've done it for everyone else. They host the Broncos week 1. Sure.
One.
At the Patriots week 2, I'll give them that. We're not going to have shit figured out in week 2, trust me.
No.
Host the Dolphins in week 3, no. At the Lions in week 4, no. Host the Giants in week 5, yes.
Yeah, 2.
Host the Niners in week 6, no. At the Falcons, toss
No.
up. Toss up, but we'll go no. So we're at 3 wins. Host the Bills, no. Host the
No.
Rams,
Give them that one.
you probably get 1. At the Niners, no. Host the Cardinals,
Yes.
at the Jets, no. At the Cardinals,
No,
probably go 1-1.
I think we split that when we talked to Cardinals.
Host the Packers,
I'm going to go no.
no. Host the Vikings, yes. At the Bears, probably.
Yeah, that's an if you want to toss up. I lean no there,
Well,
but
week 17.
yeah,
So if the Bears are good, then it's a no. But
we'll
and
find
then
out more.
at the Rams in the last week, so we're at 7 without the Rams, which we already probably split,
Yeah.
and it's 7.5, so it's pretty accurate.
Yep. So yeah, we'll give them 7 for because we're generous guys, but I think they end up under that. I think they're a 6-win team. Ceiling is 8, but
All I know is last year you told me to squad ride Seahawks under wins, and I was the only one who actually bet it. So it makes me sad.
that was 2 years ago.
Oh wow, time flies.
When
Still didn't forget it.
that was 2 years ago, the year that they traded Russell, and
They went off, didn't they?
yeah, they had a great year. They were under. It was like under like
It was
4. It
4.5.
was like 4.5. And I
It
was
was
like,
four and a
yeah.
half. I haven't forgot.
It's like they play the Niners twice.
It's tattooed in the back of my head.
They play the reigning Super Bowl champion Rams twice. I was like, dude, there's no way they go to a 4.5. But they got 10 wins, just like last year. There's always that team that I'm like, yeah, they're gonna suck. I think that's my strategy this year. Whatever team where I'm like, yeah, they're gonna suck, I'm gonna bet they're over. Because 2 years ago I did the Seahawks, crushed it, made the playoffs. Last year I did the Texans, they crushed it, made the playoffs. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to bet the New England Patriots to make the playoffs.
Oh, God. Well,
no, I won't be doing that.
Buddy.
I will not be doing that.
Good luck.
All right. Appreciate it, man. It's
All
going
right,
to be a
Rams.
But hey, it could happen. Could happen. Hold on to hope, Fusk.
You're grasping at strings, buddy.
Yep.
You're not going to hold you up. Anyways, Rams, 10-7 last year. That was a surprising team to most people. They added Jimmy G, who's currently on a suspension, but they don't need him anyways because they got Stafford unless he gets broken again like he did last year and the year
Hmm.
before. Drafted Blake Corum behind Kyron Williams. They added Tre'Davious White in the defensive backfield, and with the absence of Aaron Donald, they drafted Jared Verse and Braden Fisk on the D line. And they also
Hmm.
added Cameron Kitchens in the defensive backfield as a rookie. Um, I think this offense is going to be fucking electric.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a
My
good
my
team.
Cooper Cup is getting healthy too. I think Puka had a little bit of a speed bump, but he'll be fine.
Hmm.
Kyron Williams, I have a ticket on Kyron Williams to let's see what did I do before we get into it. I put Kyron Williams most regular season rushing and receiving TDs combined at 12 to
Oh,
1.
okay. That's
So
just that's just tough because the amount of touchdowns that division rival Christian McCaffrey gets.
yeah, but who's betting Christian McCaffrey at 2 plus 250 to do that? Nobody.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just that's what I think about when I'm trying to pick a long shot. It's like the guy was probably plus 250 should be less than plus 250. You know,
Yeah, but
If McCaffrey's healthy for 18 games,
exactly. He has to stay healthy.
yeah, if he's healthy for 18 games,
Then
there's a
I lose
reason
the bet.
why. Yeah,
But that's why I put $10 on
hell
it. um,
yeah.
yeah, I mean between Puka, Kyron, and Cooper Cup with Stafford, if they all stay healthy, this offense is gonna be fucking elite.
Mhm.
Like elite, elite.
Yes, I agree.
Um, but the trouble is, and it's McVay too, so I'm not worried about the offense one bit. The trouble is finding a defensive identity without Aaron Donald taking up three defenders every play.
Correct. I mean that dude, arguably the best interior lineman in the history of the game.
He's arguably the best football player in the history of the game.
Yeah, that guy was
If you're
just
a
different.
football guy, football player, he might be the best ever. And
Yeah,
now he's gone.
yeah. You can't replace that. I don't care what you do. You
No,
cannot
you
replace
can't.
that.
They took steps to start building a defense, but it's never going to be the same. So they have to
Mhm.
find an identity on defense and they have to play together as a team on that side of the ball and support the offense that should be good. I
Mhm.
still think they'll be competitive with a 8.5 win total and plus 330 to win the division.
Yep.
If it weren't for the Niners, I would love that pick, but you got the Niners in your division, so it's going to be hard. They snuck in the playoffs last year. I don't see why they couldn't do it again
Mhm.
in a kind of shitty NFC. But let's do schedule.
Yeah. Front through it.
All right, so we start off in Detroit against the Lions. That's a bit of a revenge game after the playoff game last year.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game, man. It's going to
It's
be a
gonna be a
real
really
good
good
game.
game. We'll toss it up. Well, let's just be generous for the win total sake. So say they get the first one.
Yeah, let's say they get their revenge. Let's say they get their revenge. Let's go Rams.
Then they go to the Cardinals. That should be two.
I think we split here.
So
I
yeah, but
think
1-1.
yeah, 1-1.
Just start it off with that.
Yep.
Host the Niners? No.
Hmm.
At the Bears? I think yeah.
Okay.
Host the Packers.
I think they lose one of those two games against the NFC North.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's go. Let's go. So that puts them at 3, right?
3-2.
Lions. No, this puts them at 2-3. Lions and one of those two
And well,
going to the
we gave
Rams.
them cards too.
Did we give them cards?
Well, we're gonna
Okay.
give them one of the two.
Okay. So let's just say let's just go in order. Let's just go a loss on that Cardinals game.
All right, so then 2 and 3,
because they're there. Just give the home team the win. So 2-3 going into the Raiders.
and I think they win that game at home.
Yep.
3-3, they win against the Vikings at home.
4-3.
4-3 at the Seahawks. We gave 1-1.
Yep. 4-4.
Yeah, host the Dolphins
Let's give them a
Monday
win
night.
there.
That could be a sneaky one.
Yep. Let's give them a win.
5-4 at the Patriots. Win.
So are the Patriots and the Panthers going to go completely defeated, both of them?
No. No.
just for win total sake, we're just the games they should win. We're just giving them yes and
6-4.
no. So.
Host the Eagles. 6-5
Mm-hmm.
at the Saints.
Let's go 7-5. Let's give them a win there.
Yeah, 7-5. Host the Bills. That's probably going to be a good game.
Yeah. Let's go 8-5. Let's give them a win there.
I like that. Lose against the Niners on the road.
Yep. 8-6.
At the Jets.
8-7.
Beat the Cardinals. 9-7. And then they host the Seahawks to get to 10 with an 8.5 win total.
Okay.
So we had them at 9 for the last week.
Let's give them a 10-7. That's over the win total. Seems very achievable for this team. Like we said, there's obviously a lot. There's some games in there that could win. Games in there that could lose. So we'll see. But I think 10 wins is right on the number there. So lean the over.
Agreed. All right. Last one for the NFL. Niners. Same as the Chiefs. The two favorites. The two Super Bowl defending teams, whatever you want to call it. 12-5 last year. Obviously lost the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They're minus 195 to win the division, which I actually don't think is a terrible number.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to put in an investment bet.
Yep.
Same as the Chiefs, 11.5 win total. They added Josh Dobbs in case Purdy gets another concussion. Chosen Anderson to add to Debo and Ayuk, which I do think Ayuk is going to get signed. Something that came out today that said they were close to a deal. They drafted Ricky Pearsall at wide receiver, who's supposed to be a pretty good player. They added Leonard Floyd from, the Bills?
Yes.
Added Leonard Floyd on the defensive line. A couple D-backs in Rock Yassin and Isaac Yiadom, who are solid players to add to their core.
Worcester's own Isaac Yiadom.
Yes, sir. They're still the favorite. They're still a powerhouse. I mean, nobody's stopping that offense. Shanahan schemes it up, and he has arguably the best weapons in the league.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about this team unless there's injuries.
Yep.
I could easily see them back in the Super Bowl, maybe winning it if the Chiefs are not playing them. And like I said, I think Brandon Ayuk signs. I think they're fine. I think they keep rolling. And I think it's possible that they get it done this year. I mean, they've been there so many times the past few years. It's only a matter of time adding a guy like Christian McCaffrey. It seems to be inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, this team is dynamic, both sides of the ball. They got one of the best offensive lines in football, probably the best offensive lineman in football, in Williams. Just top to bottom, their roster has elite players at each position.
Best fullback in football.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Top to bottom, each position, they got guys, they got dudes. So tough team to beat, high on them, and unless anything drastic changes, I think they'll find themselves in a similar position as last year.
Mm-hmm. And we'll do quick on the schedule. Finish up
Yep.
the NFL for this week. Ooh, they start on Monday night
Mm-hmm.
at
Jets.
home against the Jets. Probably a win.
Give them that. Yeah, one.
At the Vikings, win.
Mm-hmm.
At the Rams, probably a win.
Yes, the Rams always play them tough, but
They do, but
you want to give them a split against the Rams?
we can do that. 2-1.
2-1.
Home against the Patriots, 3-1.
Loss.
I'm just
3-1.
tired of that team showing up on the fucking schedule, to be honest.
3-1.
Patriots.
Yeah, no. Let's move on.
Home against the Cardinals, win.
Mhm.
4-1. At the Seahawks,
Let's give them
Thursday
a
night.
win.
That's a win. 5-1. Host the Chiefs.
We gave the Niners that one. 6-1.
Yeah, 6-1. Host the Cowboys.
Let's go. Let's go. Lost there. Let's get freaky. 6-2.
Yeah. 6-2. At the Bucks, 7-2. Host the
8-2.
Seahawks. At the Packers.
8-3.
At the Bills. 9-3.
Yep.
I think they beat the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Host the Bears, 10-3. Host the Rams. We gave them the Rams the first one, so 11-3.
Yeah.
At the Dolphins.
11-4. Let's give them a loss there.
Host the Lions.
Let's give them a dub. 12-4.
12-4, and if they don't rest anyone, they're 13-4.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean it's a good team. It's where they expect to be at the end of the year. That's where everyone expects them to be. If they aren't the one seed going into week 18, I think it's a disappointment. But that's just the team that they've built over the last couple of years. That's where they expect to be, and that's where we all do. So, yeah, I think they win this division handily.
6-1 to win the Super Bowl.
Who has the best odds? Chiefs.
Chiefs are 5-1.
Yeah, I
6-1 is crazy.
Yeah, but I mean,
If I were to place a Super Bowl bet right now, it would either be the Lions or the Bengals at 12 or 13-1.
you like the Bengals?
Yeah, I think Joe Shiesty goes off this year.
Joe Shady.
Yeah.
That blonde fucking hair. It's wild.
He can do whatever he wants. He still looks like a fucking savage.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, I've taken my long shot pick to win the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Wow.
I mean, I hate it with everything in me,
You obviously don't.
but I just think at plus 3,000 with the addition of an actual quarterback, their defense is stout. Jesse Bates is the best safety in the league, debatably, but I think he's top 3 for sure. Then you got they just got Judon from the Pats. The dude's hungry.
They're going to be good.
Guy
Trust me.
wants to win. I think
Jets 20-1 isn't terrible either.
20-1.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, it's the Jets. They're not going to win, but they're going to be a good team. But yeah, the Falcons I
Mike
placed.
Will now too.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall.
Oh, that's the other bet that I put in. Actually, I have 2 other bets. It's not in the division, but I have the same bet I put in for Kyron. I put in for Brees. Regular season rushing and receiving TDs combined.
I like that.
10-1 for Brees. And then I put in a 28-1 ticket for Jahmyr Gibbs, Offensive Player of the Year.
Ah. There you go.
It's just a couple that I was just kind of peeping at. But anyways, AFC NFC West checked off.